All right, Skinny, it's a Friday. This is the first week they've had a whole week. They did have a day off in the middle of the week, but it kind of showed that it was a Friday in this workout.
Especially after that practice yesterday. They went 2 hours and 20 some odd minutes. They had a competitive practice, which is called red zone lockout. It was the offense. They were playing to a certain score of 18 points. The first one to 18 was declared the winner. I don't know what the prize was for the winner, but there was a competition. You could see that yesterday. And I mean, guys in the locker room yesterday, you could just see it. Took a long time to unravel tape. Took a long time to get out of chairs from sitting down. I'm not just talking big guys, but little guys, whatever. So today you could imagine was going to be a little more sluggish, and it wasn't as sluggish as I thought it was going to be. Now some veterans got the day off. DJ Reader got a day off. Joseph Osai, who took a ton of reps yesterday, got a day off. Tyler Boyd got a day off. It's not just smart roster management, if you will. But you know, the 11-on-11, there was a couple of periods of that, and I thought Trevor Siemian looked good. They did have a blitz drill, an 11-on-11 blitz drill late in the day, and that didn't go so well for the offense. The quarterbacks ate it a lot of different times, but that's kind of to be expected. I mean, you're not on the same page a lot of times with that blitz pickup stuff, and that's what you're doing it for, to show what you can do on a defense blitzing, trying to mix and match your stuff, and how does your offense respond, how do the backs respond to that. Chase Brown had a little bit of a struggle at times in that blitz pickup role, but we'll see when it's for real how he handles that situation.
Yeah, that's one of the things, and it's been kind of a theme throughout the camp so far. And you know, some of it is, we're still very early in camp, but clearly the defense, when they get together, is outshining the offense.
Yeah, other than that session yesterday, red zone lockout, where the offense did do, but that was really the result of some great catches. Yes,
right?
Trent Irwin with a great catch, Charlie Jones with a great catch down the sidelines. I think that was a big part of what that was. That wasn't maybe so much the offense dominating, a couple of just singular great efforts and plays. And you got a bunch of guys nicked up now at the moment. Not a bunch, but a handful. Charlie Jones, with that catch yesterday, injured his shoulder. He's considered day-to-day. Travion Williams, who got hurt a few days ago, he's week-to-week. Jordan Battle hasn't been in an 11-on-11s in a while. He's dealing with tightness, whatever that is. I'm not sure if it's tightness shoulder, tightness hamstrings, tightness whatever, but just general tightness. And still haven't seen Trey Hendrickson in a while in 11-on-11s. But a lot of these guys who aren't going are at least doing things on the side. Chidobe Awuzie too. They all seem like they're progressing. Other than the Joe Burrow injury, there really hasn't been anything huge, major so far, knock on wood, in this camp.
Right, nothing major, nothing that we think is probably going to spill into the regular season. You know, the roster's kind of set. I know we got rookies. We still have the punter battle. We're waiting for Drew Chrisman to come back. But has anybody surprised you or stood out and said, this guy might compete for the 53?
You know, to me, I think the one spot that's really, and this has been talked about a little bit, but the one spot where you're going to end up probably cutting somebody that's a quality player and you're hoping to stash him back on practice squad is that cornerback room. I mean, you know, do you keep 7 corners? Probably not, because, you know, you got to manage a whole roster here. It'd be nice. But, you know, if Alan George gets let go again, can you restash him on the practice squad? You know, DJ Ivy's a 7th-round pick. Is there enough tape for another team to pluck him if he doesn't show a ton in preseason?
If they show him some of this,
if they show him some of this, they sure would. But I'm not sure they're going to see some of this.
Right.
But the point is, you're going to end up probably having a pretty decent cornerback that's going to be out. Yeah, the battle then, do you keep 4 running backs? Do you keep 7 wide receivers? If you only keep 6 wide receivers, is it Andre Yoshavash because of his potential, or is it Stanley Morgan because of his special teams prowess? And those are tough decisions because you know you're letting a good player or potentially good player go. But to your point, it's not a case of, boy, we really need these 6 guys to win a starting job to help us on our front 11-on-11. I mean, you're pretty well set there. You're now just looking for some depth pieces, and that's a great place to be.
You mentioned Andre, and he was one of the guys that made one of those great catches yesterday. He's right there in probably that 7th spot of, well, they're going to keep 6 or 7 receivers. But I think he's really shown improvement, like been on an upswing since day one.
I do too. I mean, he's had a little bit of drops at times, but, you know, again, I think you're working through him, working through the speed of the game, but he's also been spectacular at times, to your point. I think the key for a guy like that is what can he do on special teams. You know, Trent Irwin isn't a big special teams player. I think they keep him. I think you agree with that. They keep him because he's just so darn consistent and reliable, and Joe Burrow trusts him. If Joe Burrow trusts you, they're probably going to keep you. Charlie Jones, barring this being a long-term injury, he's obviously going to be kept as well. So there's 2 backup spots. So if you only keep 1 more backup spot, is it Morgan or Yoshavash? If you're keeping 2, then maybe it's both of those guys. But, you know, Yoshavash, we saw him do some gunning work in minicamp. I haven't seen it a ton here so far. They haven't gone full speed with that. I'll see if that happens in the preseason. I'm going to guess they will try that. But he's got great speed, obviously. He's got great athleticism. You would think he could cover kicks. he can show that, then maybe he does force his way on and knock Stanley Morgan off. Again, it's a good place to be, bad place for these guys to be, but a good place for the roster.
You know, we talked earlier in the week about seeing the #1 draft pick, Miles Murphy, working some special team stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't see him do that today, did you?
I did not. And maybe
what do you think? That experiment is over?
No, I honestly, I do wonder if because of giving Osai the day off, Hendrickson being off, if it's just a reps thing of trying to manage reps. I don't know, Gary, if you saw the one point where the kickoff return team had done a couple in a row, and they were walking kind of back in front of where we were. You were up at the other end of it, and I'm telling you, some of these guys were just gassed. And so I think for Murphy, it was probably more managing the reps portion of practice. We'll see what that's like moving forward, but I think, like I said, I'm looking forward to that role of him returning kickoffs if it comes to that.
It would be great to see that guy come barreling down the line. Either way, either returning somehow or catching somebody, blitzing down the field. Whatever kickoffs we see this year, which could be limited, will definitely not be what we're used to in the past. For Richard Skinner, I'm Gary Miller. Saturday off. See you on Sunday.